this concert that they had over in Atlanta. All right? I think that it was disrespectful. I think that it was absolutely positively a disgrace. And more importantly, I do not think that it added as much value as y'all think it added as far as entertainment versus having a conversation based off of policy. Well, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Kamala Harris pulled up to Atlanta. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit more context as to why this is disrespectful and why you guys should be concerned about the identity politics game that they're playing and how they disrespect you by thinking that you're only supposed to be concerned about the fun and games that they parade around you in order to entertain you, right? It's like the court gesture. And if you keep the people distracted, then they don't have to pay attention to the policy. They don't have to promise you anything, right? They're using all of the jet fuel. They're using all of the Secret Service. Your tax dollars is parading them around the country, and then they don't have to actually give you anything, right? And the first thing that really stuck up in my mind, and I knew that they was going to do this, and this is in addition to the fact that they are continuously pushing this racial trope, especially with regard to the police, and they do it every 4 years. They do it every 4 years, and they want to push this narrative every single time. But the first thing that they decided that they wanted to throw inside of your face is this concert with Megan Thee Stallion. Check it out. Are y'all really getting distracted by this nonsense? Did y'all really show up? And listen, I'm just asking a question because I'm not in Atlanta, so I'm curious, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Did y'all, honest to God, I seen white people in the audience. I seen a white man in the audience. I seen a black man in the audience behind them because, they're not going to show the audience in front of them because that's where they got the cue cards and stuff. But did y'all seriously get distracted by a concert when they are supposed to be actually speaking to you and answering questions with regard to how it is that they're going to help your communities, what they would do as far as stemming the migrants that is flowing into your communities, how they're going to make sure that inflation is not absolutely destroying you. Nobody can buy homes. Nobody can actually go to the grocery store and make sure that they can feed their family for the full month. You got to wait till you get your second check. Because I know a lot of y'all are on bi-weekly. I know how it is. Listen, when I first really started getting money, they was paying me once a month. We would get paid once a month. That means I had to pay everything, budget everything. It couldn't be no mistakes. So I get it. I understand. I 100% understand. I know that you guys are in a difficult position, and it's a lot of Americans that's trying to figure out, they want to parade to you this whole middle-class structure, but in reality, all they giving you is games. And they distracting you from the real issues. So if they can parade Megan Thee Stallion out there in order to be able to twerk in front of y'all and distract y'all, and y'all can't even ask no real questions, and they can give you rappers. Oh, you didn't know that they was giving you rappers too?
So it's only right in the birthplace of the culture. It's also the same place to launch the first African-American woman to run for president. Yeah, we changing the culture again. So if you never voted before, make sure you get out and vote right now because it's the real one.
This is the real one. Blouses. He got his chains on. And listen, I can't even blame them because they in the same boat as you. What makes y'all think that rappers and entertainers and movie stars, some of them are educated, some of them actually know and they're informed, right? I would love to have a conversation and sit down with these people outside of Amber Rose because it seems like even she is the only person that has learned how to articulate herself and communicate effectively as to why it is that she switched parties or why she's voting the way that she's voting. And you got to understand, and I want to preface this conversation by saying that I am not telling you how to vote or who to vote for. I very much believe in the democratic process. but I also believe that you get what you vote for. And that's what we've been getting for a long time. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to vote. You know where I stand as a conservative man, as a 42-year-old. But where you are in your life is completely different than where I may be at in my life. But I don't want you to sit here and be hustled the same way that y'all granddaddies got hustled, your daddy got hustled, your uncle got hustled, the black community been getting hustled. Have you noticed, and it's so funny because Biden has been in office for over 50 years, right? And black people have been voting Democrat for the entirety of the time that I've been alive. And so I can only speak on my anecdotal experience. But it seems as though everything has been getting progressively worse every single year, yet we continue to vote the same way. And see, you can always say, well, it's been Republicans in office, it's been Democrats in office. But that's not the truest sense of being able to evaluate whether or not your life is improving or going down based off of how it is that you vote, right? And so what I'm seeing personally is when you go into these democratic cities and you see people operating, are you able to truly see exactly how your family has progressed? Yo, you ain't got your family homes no more. You don't have anything and anyone to be able to help you. Everybody sold grandma and grandpa house. If you go over to Chicago, over in Cook County at the assessor's office, they are raising y'all taxes by 86% on y'all properties. Property taxes. You still renting. Even if your home was paid for, you still renting in Cook County and in all across America because you will never truly own your home because you still gonna get inflation on your properties. And if you don't pay it, then somebody like me is going to come in and be able to take your property from you. How that feel? When you go to your grocery store, listen, forget the national election. We ain't even got to talk about the national. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to Kamala Harris in the second and third part of this show. But let's just really, truly have a conversation. Your real life. Forget the chat. I see y'all in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Artifacts, Rasan, Jay Ben, Airborne, Irvin Pete, everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Forget me. Forget me. Forget my lifestyle. Forget my watch. Forget my Versace glasses. All of this is just trinkets to keep you entertained. Forget the custom AD shirt with my initials on it. Forget me. Let's think about you. Let's think about your baby mama. Let's think about that kid that you got on the way. They need that Enfamil. They need them diapers. You know how expensive it is to raise a kid? The cost of being able to raise a kid in the United States of America has exploded. It's going up every single year. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your kid got to go to that public school. The same one that they got the migrants in. You see how that correlate? See how we break it down from a C student's perspective? Because I really want you to start thinking about why you voting for who you voting for, not just being able to be on a plantation, a Democratic plantation. I don't want you to continue to do the same thing. I want you to really pay attention to who you voting for and how it's going to affect your life. Because when you vote this November, while they parading these people in front of you and giving you entertainment and Meg the Stallion and stuff like that, when you vote this November, I want you to remember this. You're not just voting for who's going to be president of the United States of America. Because when I say become an informed voter, I'm not just talking about on the national election. I absolutely think Kamala Harris is trash, but I'll get to that later. Do you know who your Congress members are? Do you know the millages that's being passed in your township, in your city? Do you know why your taxes are going up? Did you know when they were parading in front of you the bipartisan agreement that they wanted the Republicans to sign when it came to fulfilling the obligations that they already were supposed to be fulfilling with regard to your borders? What was baking into that? They didn't just give you one thing. They said that we also gonna package this up and we gonna fund these proxy wars over in Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. Do you know why we even in Taiwan? Do you know why we giving money to Taiwan? You don't even know, do you? You You have no clue. Do you know who your treasurer is? Do you know who the assessor is? Do you know who your secretary of state is? Do you know exactly what it is that they do, what their background is? I bet you know everything about Meg Thee Stallion. I bet you know about Quavo. They got Quavo up there, and Quavo couldn't even figure out how to handle Chris Brown. How you gonna tell me how to vote and you can't even handle Chris Brown? Chris Beasley washed him. We were so busy being distracted with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, we wasn't really paying attention to what Chris Beasley was doing. Chris Beasley was taking pictures with the little hussies backstage at the concert, $1,000, $1,100 a pop. Your baby mama was there, getting her booty felt up on, embarrassing you, and then putting it up on Facebook, because you know when you get past a certain age, you don't even really post it. You don't even really post to Instagram no more. You post to Facebook. And in between, he was over there putting bars on Quavo's head and threatening him. Why do we listen to entertainers instead of listening to people that are informed about what it is that we're supposed to be concerned about within our community? Why? Why do we let them continue to parade around these people and give us games and distract you? Why is that meaningful? Why would you allow for yourself to be disrespected? If I was at that Atlanta rally and I took time off from my job in order to be seen, go through Secret Service, make sure that I can go in and supposedly get informed as to why we should vote for you and allow for this swing state to ultimately work in your favor, and then you paraded out Megan Thee Stallion, I would be absolutely, positively upset. Because that's not what I came for. If I want to go to a concert, I got Missy Elliott coming here in August? I'm expecting for that concert to be awesome. But I'm not looking for Sierra, Missy Elliott, and Busta Rhymes and Timbaland to tell me how it is that I want to vote. If I wanted that, then I would go to the concert. I'm not here for a concert. I'm here for insight and information. They don't do that stuff. They don't do that when they go and talk to Asians. They don't do that when they go and talk to Hispanics. They make sure that they get themselves together, because those communities, they require things and they ask for things. And they say, if you want our vote, these are the things. They have a list of things that they have already put together. Listen, and I'm not even talking about the national election. I'm talking about local leaders. They have a list of demands that they would like to be met if you are interested in getting a vote. Everything is transactional except for within the black community. In the black community, all they got to do is parade out your favorite entertainer. They can give some campaign funds over to this person, justify it as a business expense, and then go on their merry way. Understand that they ain't got to give you nothing. They don't even show up to some of y'all states. Do you know that they won't show up to your state unless it's a swing state, because they already know that they got your vote? Did you know that Nancy Pelosi was heavy on Biden's head because she thought that he was going to seek the Democratic Party, because most people are uninformed and so they just vote straight down on the ticket and they don't even know who they voting for? Did you know that y'all going to be voting for judges in some of these cities and some of these states and you don't even know who's going to be locking you up? That's how y'all got Fonnie Willis in the first place. That's why they throwing celebrations with Andre Dickens over there in Atlanta. That's why it's more of a concert than information. That's why it's more pussy than politics. They can pop that pussy, but they ain't got to give you no politics. We got to do better. We got to do better. And then the suckers is going to listen to this and they going to say, oh, Anton, you sound just, I seen somebody in the chat, they said, Anton, you sound just like Fox News. I sound like Anton from antondaniels.com. If you want to catch me on Fox News, I'll be on there in the afternoon tomorrow, shortly after the Millionaire Morning Show. Yep, part 2. Anton is back. Tune in. But I sound like me. I have original thought because I've done my research. Fox News ain't telling you what I'm telling you. They not telling you what I'm telling you. Fox News shouldn't be able to tell you what they tell you. You should just be able to look at it, compare and contrast, and then take the information and do your own research. They didn't teach you how to do that in school? Don't worry about it. I'm going to serve you up. But we going to do better. I'm going to get y'all together.